Greetings, boils and ghouls. Welcome back to Midnight Movie Massacre. Today we have for you an interesting movie, to say the least. It is called Voodoo, Black Exorcist. It was directed by Manuel Cano, I don't know how to say that, and it was released in 1974. It's a mostly incoherent, slightly racist Spanish film about a voodoo warrior who is sentenced to be entombed for 2,000 to 3,000 years. They're not really sure themselves. They change it several times in the movie for killing the man who tried to murder him for his bride's affection. So naturally, they behead her, toss her head around, do a little bit of dancing. They do a special ceremony on him that entombs him for, all these years. He awakens years later on a cruise ship that an archaeologist has loaded him onto to transport him around on a media tour. He goes ahead and just starts killing people who remind him of the folks that entombed him, and pretty much anybody he doesn't kill, he enslaves vampire style by poking them with this snake ring. Eventually, he kills a doctor and poses as him, convinces this archaeologist dude to let him join him because he'll be more valuable to him than this doctor ever was, and he starts going on this media tour with them. Turns out it's really so that he can get them back to where they started, where they unearthed him from, because he has a fixation on this archaeologist's secretary slash girlfriend because, wouldn't you know it, he thinks she's the reincarnation of his bride who was beheaded at the beginning of the movie. And I believe she does play his bride at the beginning of the movie in some really terrible blackface. Anyway, that stuff aside, they end up back at the cave where he was, unearthed, and he goes full crusty mummy mode. He's packing this bitch around after he has one of his little henchmen kidnap her. They pretty much just say fuck it, end up burning them both down with a flamethrower, and the credits roll. A lot of belly dancing. Obviously there's that girl in blackface I was talking about, and white people playing shuffleboard along the way. It's got a pretty funky soundtrack, but other than that, it doesn't have much replay value beyond a couple of scenes where the dub is especially ridiculous. That stuff being said, I would highly recommend watching it at least once. It's just a good, shitty B movie check out one time on a multi-pack late at night, and you don't even really need to be stoned to end up kind of lost and guessing what the fuck's going on in this bitch, because it is disjointed as hell. But there's still some pretty fun moments in there. I really enjoyed the beheading scene where he chops off the fucking stewardess guy's head or whatever. I also really dig the part where he sneaks into her room to offer her the severed head of this guy, because basically he thinks it's the reincarnation of the dude that killed the girl that he thinks she's the reincarnation of. It's pretty stupid. Overall, that element of the plot is pretty fucking dumb, but the scene is really cool. She wakes up with a severed head in bed. What's not awesome about that? I really like how they just fry him at the end with the flamethrower. Like, they realized the movie had gone on too long at that point and they needed to kill it with fire immediately. And I would agree. It could probably be a good 30-35 minutes shorter. Now, this was my first time watching this film, and it will definitely be my last, though I will say there are some parts of the dub that are pretty fucking quotable. I guess you can get a vastly superior print of this movie if you buy the digitally remastered version of it, and it does look like a pretty movie on that version. I just don't like it enough to pick that up. Like I said, I don't plan on really watching it again. I am glad that I watched it though. It was a fun time. I got a kick out of it, some laughs. What more can you ask for? I got it on a 20-pack for $1.50, so I spent like 7.5 cents on this movie. And I think that's about what it's worth. That's all we got on this, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little review here. Check it out if you want to. I'm pretty sure the full movie is on YouTube, and we'll see you back here next time.